Just the last few questions. There's so many out there that wants to make a living of their passion. We know that's very hard, and it's very hard to be a generalist giving advice and say, do this and you'll succeed. But I mean, if you were forced to give your best knowledge on how to succeed at your passion, could one option be to sort of think about your childhood and try to remember what you initially liked to do? You talked about the Legos, right? So, I mean, sometimes I think people forget that maybe what they were interested in at 10 years old, probably there is some spark there, and maybe they should go back and visit that place, at least in their mind, and see. When no one was asking me to do anything, as a 10-year-old kid, right? You do whatever you want after school. What did you do? Did you be on the computer, or did you run outside? Because maybe that's a hint, at least, into what you can achieve as a grown-up, where you have responsibility and actually you need to get paid in order to live of it, right? You can't just do it because you like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And to some extent, I certainly agree. And then, of course, on the other side, if we were to apply that to my kids, at least the youngest one, he would just be playing video games for his whole life. which might not really be the passion of his life, but that's what you do these days. So I mean, to some extent, you also need to be sort of pushed into situations where you need to sort of make something out of that. To me, I think it's difficult because it's important. The most important thing is that we are different people. And that's perhaps where we have the most to contribute in terms of the broader development of things. And then, of course, on the other hand, to be able to follow your own path, you need to sort of, first of all, you need to sort of take that step and believe in yourself. But you need also to do it on a path which really interests you, which you really find rewarding, and rewarding enough to spend almost all your time doing just that. And, you know, for some people, the most interesting things, and perhaps for quite a lot of people, is the time spent after work, where you really don't have to sort of produce anything. You can just be totally free. And that might not always be something you can combine with making a living of. I think that's super important, because you can't get everything in life, right? You can't have the most freedom and go on all vacations and as well be excellent in your profession, right? Can you just use maybe 1-2 minutes to say, when you say hard work, what does it actually mean in terms of hours or sacrifices? Because many people say that you have to work hard, but not so many explains the consequences of working hard. Well, the consequences of working hard, I mean, there is a balance. And I think you need to, or at least for my part, I need to find a balance. I think that's healthy for me, and I think it's certainly healthy for the family. But that also gives a lot in return. I mean, being able to sort of keep a balance in that also gives me other perspectives to what I'm doing than rather only working hard. If you just do that, you might not be able to be dry enough to really understand what you're doing or reflecting on it enough. But of course, a creative process may sort of absorb almost all the energy you have, because you're putting everything into it, and you're working. I mean, you're working all the time, and I'm constantly sort of in my mind, different aspects of a project or different projects are always turning around, and some I try to push back to sort of give the subconsciousness a little space, because I think or I have a hope that the intelligence is a little bit more than just my analytical brain, part of the brain would sort of be able to give, and being sort of give enough space for some intuitivity or subconsciousness. I think is an excellent tool to be able to do something a little bit more interesting in each task you're given. But yeah, I mean, it's in terms of hours. No, you can't really measure it because it's
constantly, right? In your head.
It will be constant.